This is one topic I avoid talking about because I'll just rather not talk about it. But sometimes when I'm alone, I have these thoughts. What would have been if I left Nigeria to study? What would have been if the educational system was at least stable? How different would my life have been? Can I ever really forgive Nigeria for killing my dream? I took a short trip to where it all started. This is where I spent my first year of uni, and just being here reminded me of how much I wanted this back then. So, if you don't know my story, I'm going to link a video up here that I did a very long time ago. I hope you'll be able to stand it. But in that video, I explained my process of getting into uni. If you also don't know, I'm in a federal university studying medicine. Well, I'm not sure about the studying part, but I'm a medical student. And I remember when I was first rejected, my first admission when I was 15, when I was rejected and told I couldn't resume because I wasn't yet 16. But I remember telling my dad that I didn't want to school in Nigeria anymore and I wanted to go abroad. I actually went ahead to do the research. I was following someone on Instagram at the time that was schooling in Dominican Republic. And I was just like, you know what? Let me just leave the country. Let me go to one of these countries where I don't need to write SAT or any of these exams. And I actually started, I remember sending an email to this agency, right? Like I started the process by myself. I started doing research on scholarships, the school fees and everything. I just wasn't interested in the Nigerian system of education anymore. And then one day I went to meet my dad, excited about like what I just found. And I remember he just sat me down and he told me I can't afford it. It's like he lets me just do my research and just because he knew I was very pained. So he let me go through the research process. He didn't discourage me. And then when I was like, oh, daddy, this person wrote back to me. These are the options of the schools. This is the school fees. And he told me, I can't afford it. And honestly, this is the story of so many Nigerians. And he told me, I don't want you to go to school and I'll pay 1 year of your school fees. And for the next 5 years, you're going to start begging people for money for your school fees because I won't be able to afford it. As sad as I was, I understood because, again, that's the story of so many Nigerian students. While some people can afford to go abroad, a lot of people could not afford to go abroad or go to private schools, at least when they started. And that's why they ended up staying in public schools like this. I eventually started school here a year later, and I was a very diligent student. I literally went from my room to the cafeteria to the library to class. I barely participated in any social activity. I wanted to be a doctor so bad. I just wanted to move to medical school. When I started med school eventually, it didn't take long for me to realize that the system was trash. Okay. A lot of things are bare minimum, but how much is your school fees? You just take it like that because you're not paying so much and it's a federal school, you're not expecting much because you're in Nigeria. But I just expected so much from medical school. But the system, the facilities, a lot of things were not up to par at all. But like I said, we all just manage it. Several sets of doctors have graduated from the same school, and there are opportunities after you leave. So a lot of Nigerian students just bear what their schools offer because they know that once they leave, they have better opportunities. But then the strike, I don't even think anything prepared me for the strikes, if I call it that. From my first year, second year, third year, fourth year, and now fifth year, there has been a strike like every single year. And it's one of those things that nobody prepares you for. You just calculate, oh, I'm going to start school by this time, I'm going to finish by this time. But then your ID card graduates before you because, I mean, my ID card expired earlier in the year, and here I am, still a student that doesn't know when she's going to continue, if she's going to continue anytime soon. And honestly has lost hope for education in general. And now that I'm back here, I realized that I really, really wanted to be a doctor when I was in my first year. I really wanted to be a serious student. I legit used to go from library to class to my room. I just wanted to cross over and become a medical student. Like, I'm looking for that girl who wanted to be a doctor so bad, and I can't find her. With every single strike, the passion for medicine and education drops a little. It started in my first year, and I've experienced like 5 or 6 strike episodes since then. So imagine how much the passion has dropped now. I've just gotten to the point where I'm asking myself, why did I even choose to study medicine? Why did I choose to punish myself like this? Why did I choose to spend my entire teenagehood and 20s going to school? Why? I feel like Nigeria is stealing my years and wasting my 20s. With every private school graduation, as much as I'm happy for them, I'm reminded that I still have a few years to go and I don't even know when I'm going to continue. And the worst part, I don't even want it anymore. I don't want the degree. I don't want to practice. I don't want any of it. And sometimes I think about 10-year-old Doreen and how badly she wanted to be a doctor. She really wanted to be one of the youngest doctors in Nigeria. And sometimes I think about her and I feel like I'm betraying her when I pursue other things or when I say things like I don't want to practice medicine. I feel like I'm failing her. But I'm not failing her. Nigeria failed her. Nigeria killed her dream and gave her nothing to look forward to. I honestly don't know where I'd be if I didn't have God. I don't know how people are doing this on their own, but I'm a believer and God gives my life meaning. I mean, He gave me the life, and so while Nigeria was killing my dreams, He was giving me new ones, or He is giving me new ones. And that's why I can confidently say that my future is bright and secure, and my life is in God's hands and not Asu, because He holds my life in His hands. Literally. There's a song that says, God of my present, God of my future, you write my story, you hold it all together. That's literally what my life is. God holds my future in His hands. And that's how I can be sure that my future is secure and it's bright and everything works together for my good. So whether I get this degree or not, whether I decide to practice medicine or not, whether I lose my passion for it completely or not, as long as He's my shepherd, I will always lie in green pastures. Not straight.
How? I should bend it.
My YouTube, of course, it's like this.
Oh, sorry. This one enter bloopers. Bloopers.